Now, on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app. O'Connor and Company.
For almost 4 years, the people of Virginia have been lucky enough to have Glenn Youngkin as their governor and the Youngkin family presiding in such a classy way over the business of the Commonwealth. And now there are two women who are vying to replace Governor Youngkin, Winsome Earl Sears, the governor's lieutenant governor and the Republican nominee, and Abigail Spanberger, Congresswoman, former, and the Democrat nominee. Spanberger, for her part, had a rough night last night in the debate. Here's just a quick glimpse of her inability to answer a very simple question about whether she would withdraw her support from Jay Jones, the Democrat nominee for Attorney General.
Thank you, Ms. Spanberger. I didn't hear an answer there on the endorsement issue, so I want to just make sure. Will you continue to endorse Jay Jones to be the next Attorney General of Virginia? And were you aware of these text messages before they released? You have 30 seconds.
In fact, it appears that it was those who released the text messages and held them for years. So the public was unaware who had knowledge of these text messages.
She's angrier of the fact that she didn't have the text messages sooner than last week than she is about the actual contents of the text messages. Governor Youngkin, thanks for joining us, sir. Sure seems like a familiar moment here when you, in the debate with Terry McAuliffe, sort of were very clear and very forthright about parents' involvement in the curriculum of schools. And Terry McAuliffe, well, he sided with teachers and administrators. That was a big game changer in your election. Do you think this is the game changer now, 3 weeks before Election Day?
I think last night's debate was a display of courage and moral clarity by Winsome Earl Sears, and a display of no courage and no moral clarity from Abigail Spanberger. And it was just that clear to everyone who was watching that. We have a Democrat running for Attorney General who said that he wants to put 2 bullets in the head of Todd Gilbert, the Republican Speaker of the House at the time, see his children die in their mother's arm, and then subsequently said that a few cops have to die as well. That is beyond disqualifying. And how Abigail Spanberger could sit there with her word salad and not say something very clear that those are comments that are disqualifying, and I can't support Jay Jones. That's such a simple statement. And the fact that she can't say it just tells you that she does support him. She's not willing to withdraw her endorsement for him. It's that simple. Virginians, this is clear. Do we want someone with courage and moral clarity, or do we want someone without courage and without moral clarity? And that's what's on the ballot. And I will tell you, though, Larry, there were a number of moments last night that were huge displays of where Abigail Spanberger really is.
Yes.
Because, you see, she has really not ever said anything about some of this stuff, and she's really good at evading topics. And so when asked, should men be in the same locker rooms with girls, she can't come out and just simply say no. She, in fact, is going to overturn my executive order, which protects girls' dignity, it protects their privacy, and it protects their safety. This is about the safety of our children. And then one more. If she's going to protect the safety of our children, she also has to make sure that bad guys are off the street. And when she comes out and says she's going to overturn my executive order to collaborate with the federal government to take violent illegal criminals off the street, MS-13 members, Tren de Aragua members, she's going to overturn that and leave them in the Commonwealth of Virginia, like this guy who raped an 11-year-old girl in Virginia Beach 3 times. And the Lake and Riley Act would have gotten him out of here, but she voted no against it. There's just clear principles here of we now know what Abigail believes, and it is not consistent with anything at the foundation of the Commonwealth of Virginia. Vote for Winsome Sears, and let's get through this and keep Virginia going.
You know, Governor Youngkin, you hit on some of those clips that we had, talking about the trans question, and public safety. My question is just about kind of the fundraising side. Do you think that Abigail Spanberger is going to, maybe the brakes will be pumped on all of the out-of-state money flooding into Virginia to support her campaign because people are starting to see just how weak of a candidate she is?
So let me just ask you, if you are a Democrat donor in California, are you excited that your name is going to be tied to Jay Jones? Jay Jones, who who issued the literally demented comments. I think this has been a total game changer, but it's been a game changer because the clarity of where she stands is now perfectly apparent to all voters and all donors. This week, we've seen Jay Jones bringing down fundraisers. He had a fundraiser on supposed to be last night. They had to bring it down because no one's going to donate to that. And therefore, I do see this as a major, major shift. But I also want to be clear. Last night was a transparent moment on so many issues. Jay Jones and a lack of courage and moral clarity, where she stands on protecting young girls from sex predators and letting them in the bathroom. She can't say a basic truth. Don't let men and boys in the same bathroom with girls. By the way, I've said it many times. If you need more bathrooms, build them. But don't force boys into girls' bathrooms. And she can't stand up and say that energy prices need to come down because they're too high, because the Clean Economy Act has driven up energy prices, and wind and solar don't work. We need all of the above. And by the way, she wants to put us right back into RGGI, Regional Greenhouse Gas Initiative, that will be a $500 million burden on ratepayers on a go-forward basis. These are the very clear takeaways from last night. She's not going to stand up for the safety of our kids. She doesn't have a moral compass. She's going to literally torpedo our economy by getting rid of right to work. And this is what's on the ballot, and why I felt like after the debate last night, if you are a non-decided voter and you're still trying to weigh what the future of the economy, the Commonwealth should be and who should lead it, last night should have removed all doubts. Winsome Sears will do a great job accelerating all that we've done, and Abigail Spanberger just will not get it done.
Governor Glenn Youngkin is our guest. One quick question. We've seen Abigail Spanberger's career here from our sites here at our perch here at WMAL in the 7th Congressional District of Virginia. She always narrowly wins that election, Governor Youngkin, and oftentimes it's because of mail-in ballots that are counted a day or two after Election Day. That always makes people feel uneasy. I know that election integrity in Virginia has been a main focus for you as governor. Can you give us kind of a quick thumbnail about what it's going to look like 3.5 weeks from now for Election Day and the systems that are put in place so that we have a clear understanding of how this election shakes down?
Yeah, we've worked tirelessly to make sure that Virginia's elections are safe and secure and trustworthy. And it all starts with the fact that we have paper ballots. We have counting machines, not voting machines, counting machines. They're never hooked up to the internet. And therefore, the ballots that are cast are kept for audit purposes, and they're paper and they are counted accurately. On top of that, we now, with mail-in ballots, they are in fact separated. They have our last 4 digits of Social Security numbers on them, and they can be tied directly to an individual who had to request that ballot. And finally, if they're not postmarked by Election Day and they don't arrive within a few days, they're not going to get counted. I think finally, I want to be clear. People are really concerned about same-day registration. And again, let me be clear. If someone same-day registers, and everybody who is a Virginia citizen should be allowed to vote, and if you same-day register, you will be allowed to cast a provisional ballot, not one that automatically goes in the pile, a provisional ballot. And then the Board of Elections for the region will look at that to make sure that you are eligible to vote. It's really, really important. And I guess my final comment is Jason Miyares is the best attorney general in America. And I want to remind everybody that last year he took a case all the way to the Supreme Court and won so that we didn't have to put self-declared non-citizens back on the voter rolls. We have worked tirelessly to make sure we have clean voter rolls, great processes, and folks, get out and vote because this election is at the heart of the future of the Commonwealth.
Governor Glenn Youngkin, thanks for joining us this morning, and give our best to the First Lady of the Commonwealth and your great children. And I know that you love campaigning, so I'm looking forward to seeing you sprint to the finish line with Winsome Earl Sears over the next 3.5 weeks. Thanks, Governor.
Larry Patrice, thank you. Hey, one thing. It's the 250th anniversary of our great Navy. And if you see any of the heroes in our armed forces, just say thank you. Thank you for your service. May God bless you, and may God bless your family. That's the kind of sentiment that every single hero deserves in the Commonwealth of Virginia and our nation.
Amen. Well said. It's going to be a great weekend up in Philadelphia for the Navy parades. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.